Troops of CRYX. Recruitment of soldiers in CRYX bears little resemblance to that of any other nation. CRYX has no terms of enlistment, no training regiments, and no population of eager youths willing and ready to volunteer to fight. Instead, the Nightmare Empire cobbles together vast armies from the dead, scavenging the remains of its own living denizens as well as the fallen of other kingdoms. Bolstering the undead's numbers is a living pirate horde of CRYX, Black Orgren, Blighted Trollkin, and Human Scarred, who terrorize the seas and mainland coasts. This formidable combination of pirate raiders and animated thralls defines cryxian military might. Necromancy was among the first domains of hidden knowledge that Turek imparted to the Lich Lords who govern the Empire in the Dragon's name. They have developed the art over a millennia of macabre research and development, spawning generations of increasingly advanced and terrifying thralls. The perpetual need for bodies created an entire black market of slaves and corpse trading in the port city of Blackwater. Not all of CRYX's undead soldiers are mindless horrors ripped from the grave and forced to walk again. The most complex thralls can obey detailed orders and can even lead the shambling dead in battle. Thralls naturally lack souls, however, so even the most sophisticated ones have no will of their own. This can prove advantageous as it curtails corruption, disobedience, and self-motivated ambition. Some undead do possess thought and goals. Banes and wraiths are cunning beings driven by a hatred of all life. Unlike common thralls, banes are created by imprisoning the maddening spirits of unholy warriors within desecrated human remains. Cryxian agents scour ancient battlefields and forgotten tombs to appropriate new vessels. Only the flesh of those who were strong in life can become permanent anchors for a bane spirit. Other restless spirits also serve CRYX without the trappings of physical remains. Ghostly transformed souls that refuse to pass to your kin or were bound by necromantic rites. Arguably, the most terrifying undead are the pirates that crew the Nightmare Empire's ghost fleet in the form of revenants. These almost imperishable creatures represent the continuance of a spiritual contract forged between Turek and Captain Rengrave of the disingenuous masted Archimenius. They retain most of their faculties in spite of their cursed existence. They have added to their number over time, bringing additional slaughtered sailors into the fold along with their own captured ships. CRYX's numerous fleets are crewed by toughened mortals drawn from numerous races dwelling on the Scarred Islands. Not bound to service by the same magical means as the undead, these raiders enlist in the CRYXian fleets to escape life on the mainland or the main island of Scarred, to satisfy a desire for wealth and power, or to simply slake their bloodlust. Among the living eking out their existence in CRYX, pirate raiders enjoy a rather privileged life, improving their lot through murder and pillage. In the end, though, they are as much slaves to the Lich Lords as the undead, and equally expendable. The living who perish fighting for CRYX often rise to fight again, their corpses sold to the numerous necrotechs who scour the docks of Blackwater. The fallen are quickly reanimated to join the endless throngs of CRYXian thralls. Rank structure. CRYX lacks the same kind of formal ranking structure typically associated with military forces. Instead, power is invested in a trusted servant by a Lich Lord or seized by those with the will to command. The highest echelons of CRYX are dominated by self-willed undead. Though the living may aspire to power, they are destined to fall in service of the Dragonfather and rise to serve him in undeath. The mastery of necromancy is among the few talents that can elevate living vassals to positions of authority. although necromancers mostly prefer to join the ranks of the sentient dead by becoming Iron Liches. Field command in cryxian forces falls to tested leaders, notable war witches, ship captains, or the agents of the Lich Lords themselves. CRYX also employs intelligent thralls as proxy commanders, but creating such creatures is extremely time-consuming, requiring the inscription of the most difficult and complex of runes. The cryxian naval fleets demand more organization and discipline, with the Black Fleet showing greater professionalism than the rabble of the Pirate Fleet. Seasoned sailors, as experienced in close-quarters combat as they are in seamanship, quickly make up the bulk of a ship's crew. Those who live long enough and show the requisite toughness may become officers. A vicious, bloodthirsty captain commands each ship, though changes in leadership through mutiny or death are quite commonplace. Captains are beholden to admirals. Mighty as the admirals are, commanding hundreds of vessels and thousands of subordinates, each still must answer to one or more of the Lich Lords. Deployment. The vast majority of CRYX's thralls are produced either on the mainland or in the sprawling necrofactorums of Skell. They may wait decades to cease service, first housed in the Scarred Islands, then smuggled onto the mainland by the fleets and secreted to one of CRYX's hidden bases until they can be used to strike against the living. Unless a major fleet action is required, the captains of cryxian vessels may largely do as they please. Most raid shipping lanes and pillage towns along Western Immorin's expansive coastline. When needed, individual ships can be pressed into service to smuggle goods on and off the mainland or to strike important targets. The raiding pirate fleet most often provides a diversion to cover the more organized actions of the Black Fleet, which handles major landings and resupply to mainland forces. Addendum. Thrall Runes. Turek granted the Lich Lords the secret of Thrall Runes so that they could spawn undying legions in their own image. Ceremonially inscribing these runes into corpses allows the Liches to create servants of varying levels of potency, with more intricate inscriptions yielding more powerful thralls. The nature of the flesh itself may limit the efficiency. Not every corpse is suitable for bearing the more powerful inscriptions.